Now let's meet today's on-field officials. The referee for this match, Momo Senning. The second official, Max Oldendorf. The third official, Garrett Coombs. And the fourth official, on the sideline, Billy Chang. Now, the starting 11 for the visitors, Altitude FC.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Thunderbird Stadium at the Point Grey campus at the University of beautiful British Columbia. It's the second of our double-header League 1BC featured matches of the week as Vancouver Whitecaps host the visiting Altitude FC, with both teams badly needing a win to kind of reignite or kick-start their championship hopes. It's the 8th placed Whitecaps taking on the 6th placed Altitude. It's their second meeting of the season, and it's a very different weather conditions from that season opening match at Kinsman Field. It was torrential rain. Altitude took the lead in that one but fell to a very young Whitecap side 2-1, and they'll be out for revenge this afternoon. We'll get straight into the starting lineups for Altitude, led by head coach Fally Bass in his 4th season in charge of Altitude. In goal, number 50, goalkeeper Luca Ortu. Number 4, Ali Azarmanu. Number 6, Matthew Marshall. Number 7 is Carson Bushman-Dormand. Number 8, Captain Giordano Pinto. Number 9, Atos de Sequeira. Number 11, Tyrese Mees. Number 12, Alex Aranicki. Number 17, Oliver Herbert. Number 22, Nathan Walters. And number 95, Hauk Tip. And that's 2 changes for Fally Bass from his side. They got their first win last weekend, a big 3-0 victory that kick-started their season. They are going into this though unbeaten in 4. For the Whitecaps, lining up in a 4-3-3 formation and with 5 changes from the team from last week. In goal, number 90, Isaac Francoeur. Number 41, Carson Razik. Number 69, Aidan Fong. Number 73, Kyler Wojciech. Number 77, David Adebario. Number 84, Yaya Matumbo. Number 85, Charlie Rogers. Number 88, Angelo Zhu. Number 93, Ethan Stiver. Number 95, Nikos Clark-Tozak. And number 98, Liam McGowan. And it's the Whitecaps that get the action underway here at Thunderbird Stadium, going from left to right as you watch this one in their traditional white jerseys with the blue hoop and blue shorts and the red numbers, taking on an Altitude side in the all black with the white numbers and trim going from right to left. And it's a very fast-paced start here by the Whitecaps in the action right away, and a big save from Luca Ortu just 23 minutes in, or seconds in I should say. Been incredibly fast at first 23 minutes, but the save there coming from, I think it was Carson Razik that had the shot. It happened so fast it was hard to work out who the numbers were. But going into this one, it's a Whitecap side that have allowed the most goals against in League 1. 18 goals given up, 6 of those though in the one match to TSS Rovers. And with other teams in action in Generation Adidas Cup and MLS Next, it's been a very young Whitecap side so far. They've got 1 win just from their 6 games, 5 defeats. They're sitting on 3 points, 8 goals for, and those 18 goals against. 2 places above them in the standings though are an Altitude side that have played 5. They've only lost 1, but they've only won 1. And they've had 3 0-0 draws in there as well. They are a very low-scoring team so far. The second lowest scorers in League 1BC with just 4 goals through their first 5 matches, and 3 of those came last weekend. But they also have the best defensive record. They're very stingy at the back. They've only given up 2 goals. Goalkeeper Luca Ortu has played every minute of every game so far, and he's coming into this on the back of 4 straight clean sheets. And that's the task facing a changed Whitecap side this afternoon. They've started to get some of their college guys back. Nikos Clark-Tozak was back a couple of games ago. They've now got some others joining the mix as well. 6 different players have found the back of the net for the Whitecaps so far this year, and leading the way is 3-goal Kyler Vojvovic. 4 players have got assists. Angela Zhu leads that category with 2 assists. He also has a goal to his name. For Altitude, there's only been 3 different scorers along with an own goal. In their 4 goals so far, Thomas Bedissa, Hawk Tip and Carson Bushman-Dormand are the players that have found the back of the net for them, with just 1 player registering an assist. But it is their defensive record that they're looking to build upon, but they need to start racking up the wins if they want to try and close the gap at the top. If you haven't been following along with League One this year, no playoffs, no championship game. It's a straight 16-game regular season for the 9 teams, and whoever finishes atop of the standings come the end of July will be representing BC next year in the 2026 Canadian Championship. TSS have done that the last 3 seasons. They're looking to try and make it 4. They've got a right battle on their hands though with Kamloops United, and Altitude will want to be in that mix as well. They were my tip to win League 1 BC before this season got underway. I liked the squad that Fallibas have built, and while they have been so solid defensively, they've just struggled to find a way to get the goals, to get those breakthroughs. Did they finally break that very impressive performance last weekend, it has to be said? It was a 3-0 victory. They were very much worth that 3-goal victory over an Evolution side. They were a little bit out of sorts at Kinsman Field last Sunday. Can they push on now and get that? TSS playing this afternoon. They are already up a couple of goals against Nanaimo United. So Altitude need to get the victory this afternoon to try and keep the pressure on. The good thing from an Altitude point of view though right now is they still have TSS to play twice, and they still have Kamloops to play once. So very much still all to play for. But to get that run, that climb up the table like they did last year going, they need to get 3 points this afternoon. And you can see the urgency from them in the early going here. Herbert, he's very familiar with this pitch. The UBC Thunderbird forced to play that back though to Azar Manu. And the TSS Rovers Nanaimo game seems to be a bit of a barn burner. It's 3-1 at the moment to TSS, and they are just in the 36th minute of the first half. No stream for that one, but you want to make sure that you watch that game when it goes up later on this weekend on the League 1 BC YouTube channel. The long ball forward, the first shot of the afternoon coming in from Altitude from Tyrese Mees, but easily dealt with by Francoeur in the Whitecaps goal. And it's perfect playing conditions for football down there this afternoon. It's a little bit warm in patches of the sun. Out in the car park between the matches it was warm. Under the stand here it's quite chilly with the wind blowing in, but down at pitch level it should be absolutely perfect for them. It's been a nice fast-paced start to this as Zhu sprays that ball out to the wing. Vojvovic battling away out there, looking to add to his 3-goal tally this afternoon, and he's had a very good start to the season. Those 3 goals coming in just his 2 appearances so far for Kyler Vojvovic. Played a few splattering of appearances for the Whitecaps in the 2023 League 1 BC season. Didn't play last year. Has had 3 sub-appearances, totaling 7 minutes in total for WFC2 so far. So clearly a player the Whitecaps see a lot of future potential in, as the decision there going against Yaya Matumbo. Matumbo back with the Whitecaps for his 3rd year in League 1 BC. was with altitude last year, having played with the Whitecaps Academy back in 2023. Lifting a League 1 BC championship as well and playing in that final. Fong with a long ball forward here. It's asking a lot for Ethan Stiver to try and chase down, but the ball back to Ortu, and he doesn't get a clean connection, and it just goes high up in the air, and Mutombo brings it down. Tries to get that back to Fong, but very well cut out by altitude. Caps have a throw in though. Fong immediately put under pressure from De Sequeira. Fong making the overlap and run, gets to the ball right in front of goal, and that's a great chance there for Vojvodic. He just couldn't connect on it and tuck that one away, and Kyler Vojvodic will really wish he could get that one back. It was a great opportunity, a great ball in from the right from Aidan Fong as well, and the Whitecaps playing some very nice stuff in the opening exchanges here. Remember, we like to make these broadcasts interactive, so if you want to get in touch during the broadcast, you can do so on Twitter at AFTN Canada. That's AFTN Canada. Fong, heavy challenge on him. Fair one, says the referee, or at least he's playing advantage. It's one back though by Pinto. He's got a couple of options. Plays it forward to Mies. Mies takes a touch inside, tries to get the shot off, but a good block by the Caps. Altitude trying to keep the pressure on. Mutombo wins it back though. Now Zhu in the middle. Sprays that out to Vojvodic. Still Kyler Vojvodic fancied the long range effort there, but a crunching tackle coming in from Atas De Sequeira, and he wins a free kick for his efforts as well. Really entertaining, fast-paced start to this one. I think we're in for a barn-burning 90 minutes. A little bit scrappy there, but the Caps happy to break things up with a free kick. As mentioned, it's been a very young Whitecaps side that we've seen in some of the early going here. They've had 14-year-olds playing, they've had 15-year-olds playing. And whereas we've seen that on the women's side before, it's kind of been a needs-must basis on the boys' academy side. But they're starting to get back to full strength as Adebayo trying to skip past and giving away a free kick for his troubles. Tip with a long free kick forward, only finding a Whitecaps head. Vojvodic tries to play that out to Zhu, but the deflection falls kindly to Mutombo. Now Fong's making that overlap and run. He's got forward well in the first few minutes here. A good ball in again from Mutombo. Comes Angela Zhu. He's forced back though by the altitude captain Giordano Pinto, another player that knows this pitch well from playing with UBC Thunderbirds. Marshall showing some coolness to flick that one out. And McGowan just lets that run out for a throw, and quickly taken by Fong. Now he'll play this one all the way back to Charlie Rogers. Rogers one of the youngest players out there this afternoon. He is one of the 15-year-olds that's seen minutes for the Caps. As that is an appeal for a penalty, and it's waved away by the referee. In fact, more than that, he's also given a booking to Kyla Vojvodic as well. You have the benefit of replays up in the booth here, but from up here in the commentary gantry, he certainly sold that well, because I thought it was a penalty from up here, so I need to see that back. Referee right on the spot though, and he clearly knew what he saw there. Talking of the referee and the officials, the man in the middle for this one is Mo Messeni. Max Oldendorf is the first assistant referee, Garrett Coombs the second assistant referee, and Billy Cheng is the fourth official.
Yellow card caution shown to Vancouver's number 73, Kyler Vojvodic, in the 13th minute.
Altitude straight back into the action. De Sequeira touch inside to Herbert. He's forced back to Pinto. And it comes all the way back now to Nathan Walters. His uncle Orlando has sent a message, the whole family over in England, staying up in the early hours of Sunday morning to watch this one. Hope you will be entertained in what should be a very good game. It's just after 11 o'clock over in the UK just now. This one will finish about 1 o'clock UK time. So big hello to the Walters family watching this one. It's been a good couple of years for Nathan Walters as well. He's been called into the Barbados national team. Played 4 matches in September in their Nations League games. He'll be looking to build upon that now in his 4th season in League One. And Altitude just keeping the pressure on a little bit here. First meeting between these two, as I mentioned, was entertaining. It was a 2-1 victory, and it was a match that's entertainment value certainly belied the horrible conditions they were playing in, as it was a torrential downpour. So we see the long throw from Tip. If you haven't seen Hawk Tip before, watch for that from him this afternoon. It is a very strong part of the Altitude attacking Arsenal, as that through ball for Zoo to chase down, but Ortu quickly off his line and plays it upfield, and it's flicked on now. Quickly getting closed down by Mies. He's been a handful through the first quarter of an hour here, leading the line for Altitude this afternoon. Tyrese Mies, originally from Johannesburg in South Africa, now calls Richmond his home. He's played over in South Africa and Spain and Tajikistan, now here in Canada in League One with Altitude. Ali Azarmanu with a crunching challenge there, and he's going to get a talking to from referee Mo Messeni, and possibly a warning that if he does that again, it's going to be a yellow card. Azarmanu, tough tackling Iranian defender. Another player that's played pro overseas at under 21 level over in Iran. Azarmanu, incidentally, is the only Altitude player that has registered an assist so far this year. He's in the thick of the action again. Picks up the loose ball, tries to play that out to Bushman Dormand. Herbert now does play it in to the striker. Cleared by the Whitecaps. Comes out to Araniki. This time Mies tries to get a connection with it. An important blockage though coming in at the back. Charlie Rogers, the defender with the block there, and feeling a little bit of the effects of it as well. As another challenge coming in. We're going to get the second yellow card of the game. We're 18 minutes in, 2 yellows already. That's the first of them coming out for a challenge. And it goes the way of the Altitude captain, Giordano Pinto. He's going to have to watch himself now for the rest of this. He is a player that does enjoy a tough tackle himself, so he's going to have to be on his best behaviour. Still just about 75 minutes he's going to have to see out in that yellow now. Caps though with a free kick just inside their own half. Form up the wing to Mutombo.
Number 8, Giordano Pinto, in the 18th minute.
Adebayo now. Missed the last game through suspension, had been wearing the captain's armband in the first few games until Nikas Clark-Tozak had come back from college. And very versatile player, can play along the back line, can play in the middle of the park as well. That's Herbert now bringing that one forward. Taken off his feet. Picked back up though by Pinto. He's trying to get the return pass there from Herbert. Whitecaps pressing here, not allowing Altitude any time to think of the ball and forcing the mistake there and the turnover from Di Sakera. Now Fong will get a little bit of time to try and pick out a pass here. The aforementioned Clark-Tozak at the back there just getting the ball, and Charlie Rogers this time gives it away. Rasic out wide to Adebayo. Rogers having to quickly act there to snuff out the danger from Tyrese Mees, but that is going to bring up a corner here for the visitors from the North Shore. Ollie Herbert on corner kick duty on the far side. Big out tip moving around in the box as well. Looking though to try and find the head of Walters. It's headed clear by Rogers. Herbert tries to bring that one down. He's taken off his feet though, and it's going to give a chance now for the Caps to get something going. Just a overhit pass, runs away from Zoo, and instead it's Altitude now. Meese threads that through, looking for Bushman Dormand. It just gets away from him though, and it's gratefully smothered by Caps keeper Isaac Francoeur. Caps, another penalty shout there. Referee Momaseni though not impressed in the slightest. Heading into this match, I mentioned the Whitecaps sitting down in 8th place on 3 points, currently sitting 10 behind the league leaders going into this weekend, Kamloops United. They were leading the way on 13 points, now joined by that, as things currently stand, by TSS Rovers. Altitude 6 points as they headed into this one. 7 points back from Kamloops, and they need to start stringing some wins together. They're going to be in for a battle this afternoon if the first 22 minutes are anything to go by. It's been very fast-paced, end-to-end stuff as we reach the midway point of the first half. It's a nice long ball forward for Bushman Dorman to try and get onto it. Just wouldn't come down quickly enough for the big striker to get on the end of it, and Francoeur quickly off his line to deal with that one. Good ball forward, another chance to split this defence though from altitude. Fong now brings it up the other end. McGowan plays it forward to Zhu. He turns away, fires the shot off, and it takes a touch off, I think, Hauk Tip on the way through. Definitely took a touch off one of the altitude players, and it's out for a corner for the Caps on the far side. 24th minute here at Thunderbird Stadium. We're still scoreless. Both teams though playing some nice football, causing both defences to really be aware of what they're doing out there. And swinging corner comes in, and Walters gets his big frame on that to head it clear, but it's going to be out for another corner now, this time on the near side. Angela Zhu this time over on the corner kick duty. He's got an option short if he wants it, and he finds the option. Stiver, he gets that taken off his foot. Fong plays the loose ball forward. It's picked up though by altitude. Good hustling play there by Mies. Araniki plays that out wide to Bushman Dormant. Altitude's leading scorer. Last season had 5 goals on the year. Had to leave before the season's end, but for very good reasons, as he signed a pro deal over in Malta. And that's what this league is all about, getting these pro opportunities for these young players. Herbert now makes room for the shot! And a dive and save from Isaac Francoeur turns that around his left post, and it's out for another altitude corner. But great work there from Ollie Herbert to make room for himself to fire off that shot, and he hit it with some force. But Francoeur, more than a match for him. Herbert now. Out-swinging corners, flicked out off the box, only as far as Di Sequeira. He takes a touch to his outside, sends a dangerous one in. Acrobatic effort from Bushman Dormand. He can't connect with the ball though, and the Caps get it clear. It's only a temporary respite though, as Altitude keep the pressure on once again. Broken up by the Caps, but Tip takes that off the foot of Zhu. Azamanu now. Out to Di Sequeira. He takes the touch inside, goes to ground, looking for the free kick. Nothing in that at all. Seemed to throw himself to the ground there. It's Carson Rasic looking for an option. Finds it in Adibir Oiri. Cat's pushing now, cuts to Stiver. He can't get the time to get a shot off as he's closed down very quickly. Both teams doing good jobs in the box, not allowing clear shots to get taken. Strikers not being allowed time on the ball to make room to think about things. Full slate of matches in the men's division this afternoon. I mentioned TSS playing the 9, it's 3-1 at half time. 5:30 we'll see Kamloops hosting Burnaby. Can the league leaders continue their unbeaten start to the season? Can Burnaby bounce back from a very tough outing against TSS last week. As the Caps now on the attack here. Vujicic forced to hold up a little bit and cut inside, and then didn't get a clean shot off. Altitude again got back very quickly in numbers. In the final match today, Unity will be taking on Evolution out in Cloverdale at 7 o'clock. Both the Kamloops, Burnaby and Unity Evolution games are, I believe, both being streamed on L1BC's YouTube channel. As that cross comes in from Bushman Dormand, and Francoeur had to tip that one away. Danger waiting to pounce from Tyrese Mees. Now the Caps will go the other way, but just a bit of a misunderstanding there, and the ball will run out for an altitude throw-in. These first 28 minutes have whizzed by, it feels. Hope you are enjoying the action wherever you are taking it in from. On L1BC's YouTube channel. Your home for all the L1BC action this season. Remember, you can catch up with all the action, stats, live game updates and more on the League One Canada app, available for free in the Android and Apple stores. The League One Canada app will give you everything you want to know from League One BC, League One Ontario and League One Alberta. And as League One Canada grows, so will the leagues and those featured on the apps, and the more the merrier. As Altitude get another corner on the far side, and once again it's Oliver Herbert over to take it. Another outswinger, this time over the head of Walters, and before Aaron Nicky can get a swipe at it, it's taken away from him by Zoo. Referee felt there's a foul on there as well from Alex Aronicki. And the 21-year-old from Geneva penalised, and the Caps will get the action back underway. Liam McGowan. That bouncing ball causing all sorts of trouble for Clark Tozak, but Altitude feeling they should have had a free kick there, but just felt good, solid defensive play from Clark Tozak as Stiver finds a way through, just held onto the ball a little bit too long there. He had an option to his outside of Mutombo. The referee's going to go over. Tyrese Mees still down after that challenge with Clark Tozak and hasn't moved much at all. I do wonder if he's possibly hurt his arm or his shoulder, or maybe just a little bit winded on this pitch. There was a lot of rain yesterday and this morning, so it's going to be a bit of a slick pitch down there as Mees gets helped to his feet by referee Mo Messini. We're going to get a drop ball about 10 yards inside the Altitude half. Not a contested one. I won't do my usual, why do we not get contested drop balls anymore? Sure, anyone that's listened to me commentating over the years will be sick of me talking about that, but I do miss it. We're past the half-hour mark, into the final 15 of the first half. Still looking for the breakthrough goal. We've had both teams knocking at the door for a fantastic save from Isaac Francoeur to deny Oliver Herbert. That's been the closest really either team has come. Look at R2. The only team he's given goals up against this year has been this Whitecap side. He's had 8 straight halves of football. Look at R2 without conceding. He's looking to try and make that 9, ideally 10 from his point of view. Hasn't had a lot to do in the first 32 minutes. not for the lack of Whitecaps pressure. It's just the defence has done their job at keeping them at bay and not really allowing those clean, clear shots to get taken off. It's Altitude that's mostly been on the front foot. Whitecaps have looked good in the quick transition play though. So the wind springs up again a little bit here. It looks to be swirling in Altitude's favour as we get another long throw coming in from the big German Hauk tip. Hard to deal with at the best of times, never mind a little bit wind assisted, but here's the Whitecaps bringing this one out. And Rasic sent to the deck in the challenge from Pinto. And that's given away by Tip, and he's going to have to put the jets on it to try and get back now. Adebayo. Inside to Zhu, his shot blocked by Tip. And coming together between the German and the American Adebayo. Decision goes the way of the Whitecaps, and they're going to get another set piece opportunity about 32 yards from goal. Angela Zhu will be the most likely, I think, to whip this one in. Two caps standing over it, and it is going to be Zhu. It's a good delivery from him onto the head of Adebayo. And an acrobatic stop from Luka Ortu touches that over the bar, and that's the closest the Caps have come so far to breaking the deadlock. Keller Vojvodic had a very early look and goal that he just couldn't fully connect with. That was the closest they'd come before that, but that was a great delivery in from Zhu and a great header to match from Adebayo. Zhu now on the resultant corner. Swinger into the near post. Asamanu just wasn't really sure what was happening there. Stiver resends it in. Headed clear. Adebayo doing well to win that back for the Caps. Altitude looking for a free kick. Referee not interested. Charlie Rogers with a crossfield ball. Comes off the shoulder of Adebayo, and he's having to chase this back down now. Aroniki looking for some movement. Threads it through to Mies, but he can't dig it out the turf. And it'll just run through to Francoeur. Into the last 10 now of the first half. Entertaining affair. As McGowan throws that through. It looked about 3 Whitecaps players offside there, and the flag does go up on the near side. Last time we featured Altitude in our featured match of the week. Have to be honest, it was not the most exciting affair when they were at home to Nanaimo. This one, much, much better. This has been really end-to-end stuff. A good advert for League 1BC. Teams, though, both need to try and get some kind of end product. As Bushman Dorman sends another ball into the box looking for Tyrese Mies. Tai, as he's known, 7 goals for Reno's Altitude in the VMSL. A Stiver now gets played in from Zhu, and just a little bit too much blood rushing to his head there. He had options in the middle, tried to go for goal himself, and in the end just ends up blasting that high and over Luka Ortu's bar. Rasic. Another long-range effort, this time coming from Liam McGowan. All of Altitude's goals last week in that 3-0 win over Evolution did come in the second half. And that broke 8 straight halves of football without finding the back of the net for the North Vancouver team, after scoring in the first half in their opener against Whitecaps. As we move into the last 7 here, if they can't find the breakthrough before half time, that's going to be 11 halves of football, and 9 of those they've been unable to score. That has been their Achilles heel in 2025. Altitude making the playoffs, making the championship game last year for the first time in their short history. They're looking to try and push on this season and take the bigger step of winning that regular season title with no playoffs or championship game. They made a very good late run last year. Started a little bit slowly and then hit the ground running. Has to be remembered, although they've only got that one victory, they only have the one defeat through these first 5 games as well. And you can see they're not an easy side to try and break down. Zhu gets it back, tries to drive this forward, plays it inside looking for Vojvodic, who they've not really been able to get involved in the game in the last few minutes. Now Altitude going up the other end, Bushman Dormand cuts it back to a wide open Oliver Herbert, takes it to the outside, goes for goal again, and again Isaac Francoeur is more than a match for the diminutive midfielder's shot. Herbert fresh off winning his first U Sports national title with UBC Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds head coach Mike Mosher just sitting up the back watching the action this afternoon, just to my right. Caps taking too long on the ball there. Azamanu breaks it up. Herbert. Bushman Dormand touch back to Aaron Nicky, and he's the latest to try his luck from distance. And again, Francoeur, more than a match for it. For all their possession, for all their pushing, Altitude haven't really been afforded any clear opportunities in the box. Been kept to these long range shots from distance. Can Zhu keep this in? Yes, he can. He needed a little bit of help there. It wasn't coming to support him, and now Altitude will go the other way. Rasic gets that forward to Vojvodic, and he's got lots of room. Plays that inside to Zhu, goes down. It's going to bring up a free kick in a very dangerous position, 25 yards from goal. And we know the Whitecaps have players that can certainly fire free kicks in from there. Referee Massini just making sure the players get back the 10 yards. Very easy to work out how far that should be when you've got these markings on the pitch. And they still need to go back quite a bit. Still not fully back the 10 from my angle here, I would say. But the Whitecaps, chance now in the 43rd minute to try and break the deadlock. Zhu, one of the players standing over this. It's Zhu, it takes it again, and it forces the dive and save from Ortu at his near post. Another big stop from the big keeper. Ortu fresh off his rookie season in the college game. 11 games under his belt with Thompson River Wolfpack. Wasn't able to keep a clean sheet in the college game, but he's more than making up for it this L1BC campaign. His third year, or fourth year I should say, with altitude. Suffered a horrible injury in the 2022 season. That kind of derailed his games for the 2023 season, but back with a bang. Last year playing in that championship game, which was a fantastic burning affair against TSS Rovers. Altitude came storming back in this one, almost taking the game to penalties. Fong. Shouting move to his teammates. There was just nothing on for him. No movement in any of the channels for him to get that ball forward, and Fong rightly frustrated there. But now the Caps are going up the left-hand side. Adeborio whips one in, and it's neither a cross nor a shot in the end, and that's easily handled by Luca Ortu. Keep an eye on the fourth official as we move into the dying seconds of the first half here. Be surprised if there's more than just a minute to get added on. In fact, there's no time to get added on whatsoever by referee Mo Massini, and the half-time whistle blows, and we're scoreless here at Thunderbird Stadium. It's been an entertaining match, but one maybe lacking a little bit of quality from both sides in the final third. That said, both keepers have had a couple of big saves to make. It's delicately poised. You don't want to miss the second half of this one. Go, stick the kettle on, grab your biscuit of choice, and join us in 15 minutes for the second half here at Thunderbird Stadium. Welcome back to Thunderbird Stadium. That second half action underway. It's goalless between Vancouver Whitecaps Academy and Altitude FC. Altitude have now played 11 halves of football. They haven't scored in 9 of them, but they haven't conceded in 9 of them. And I was just having a quick chat to one of the Altitude guys during the break there, and it's trying to find that offensive click, trying to get things to work. And we'll see what the second half brings. And some substitutions at half time. Yaya Matumbo, number 84, has made way for the Whitecaps. It appears to be the only change for the Whitecaps. Coming on is Alessandro Troisi, the number 68. Altitude look like they are unchanged for the second 45 minutes here. It was an entertaining end-to-end half at times during that first half. Lot of quick-fire transition play. What was letting both teams down, really, though, was just quality in the final third. There were a few glimpses. Oliver Herbert had a couple of looks on goal. Both keepers have made a couple of saves, but both teams need to try and step things up a little bit. And the Whitecaps, we've talked, it's a tough season for them. It's a young season. They're playing on so many different fronts just now, and they've had players away at Generation Adidas Cup and the Academy and MLS next are away, and then the playoffs are coming up for that. College players are coming back, and it's hard to know who's lining up for the Whitecaps on a week-to-week basis. So they've made the most of it, and they've been shown well in flashes. For Altitude, though, this was a team that really harboured championship hopes, and if they want to reignite those hopes, they have to get a win this afternoon. They have to get the 3 points out of this one. They've already gone down. Their only defeat of the season is in the season opener to the Whitecaps, so they want revenge for that alone. But they do need the 3 points to try and keep a pace, really, with the teams at the top of League 1BC. TSS Rovers and Kamloops leading the way on 13 points. TSS having a great outing this afternoon against Nanaimo. 5-1 up at the moment to move level in points with Kamloops. Kamloops will be kicking off against Burnaby at 5:30. Back to this game, though, and Altitude now get a free kick about 40 yards from goal after that foul on Oliver Herbert. And we'll see if somebody can conjure up some magical moments here. They scored 3 goals last Sunday in their 3-0 victory over Evolution in North Vancouver. Are we going to get another performance of that magnitude this afternoon in the second half from the North Shore side? Valley Bass will have told them the importance of getting the win here. As a good delivery coming in, and there has been an Altitude substitution. Oh, and we've got the goal as well. A stunning long-range strike from Atos Di Sequeira, and the breakthrough comes in the 49th minute, and Altitude have the 1-goal lead. An absolute cracking strike from Atos Di Sequeira, his first goal of the season, and Altitude are off and running here, and that one seemed to really just come from nothing. And what do the Whitecaps have in response? I'll get to the substitution finally as well, as it's Thomas Bedisa, the number 14, that is on.
Scored by number 9, Atos Di Sequeira in the 49th minute. Di Sequeira in the 49th minute.
Altitude are springing the step now. Bushman Dormand going for the shot. And Altitude very much starting on the front foot here. In the second half, they've had the kick they requires. Pinto thinks about going for goal, does go for goal and just can't keep that on target. And it's going to be another free kick opportunity coming up for Altitude here. The goal that they got stemmed from that free kick from a very, very similar position. The opening goal came as Clark Tozak headed out the last free kick and it fell to D. Sakera 25 yards from goal, and he let fly, beating Isaac Francoeur. Are we going to get a repeat here? Delivery comes in again. Clark Tozak hits it away, and again it falls to D. Sakera. Magic can't strike twice though, and this time he doesn't get a clean connection. And it just runs through to Francoeur. Trying to work out who Thomas Bedisa came on for at half-time for Altitude. As Tip with another long throw, appeals for a penalty. It doesn't matter, it's tucked away. Thomas Bedisa from just outside the box. The ball comes to him and he buries it into the bottom left-hand corner, and from nowhere. 53 minutes. We're now 2-0 to the visitors from North Vancouver, and Altitude are showing the offensive firepower that Falibas has been wanting to see from his team all season. It's been a great start to the second half for Altitude. And it's a big uphill struggle now for the Whitecaps to try and get anything from this one. Second goal coming again, really, from a set piece. Hike Tips, long throws, causing a lot of problems for sides this season. We saw it last week. One of the goals that Altitude had got was an own goal that stemmed from one of those Hawk Tip long throws. And here goes Di Sakera. They've definitely got a spring in their step. Bedisa as well has added a lot since he's come on at half time, as Bushman Dorman goes for the audacious chip to the back post. Can't quite come off. Both goals unassisted for Altitude this afternoon, but Thomas Bedisa moves into the goal scoring lead for Altitude with his second of the season. Atos Di Sakera getting on the score sheet makes him the fourth Altitude player to score this year for Falibas' side. As we get a double substitution now from the Whitecaps. Try and work out what those subs were, because the PAs seems to have fallen asleep for This second half is Altitude again, trying to get something going. So coming on for the Whitecaps, number 79, Declan Fro. It's one of the two substitutions. As here go Altitude again. Ball played in. That's dangerous. Outstretched foot there from Charlie Rogers. That could have gone anywhere, but it's going behind for an Altitude corner kick here at the near side.
Substitutions from Vancouver in the 55th minute.
Bedisa with the corner. It's an outswinger. It's a third. And it's Ali Azarmanu. 56th minute. And I talked about the 3-goal second half burst for Altitude last week. They have done that incredibly in the first 11 minutes of the second half this week.
And entering the match, number 79, Declan Fro.
And the corner whipped in superbly and rising above everyone to head home, Ali Azarmanu. Thomas Bedisa now with an assist to go with his goal this afternoon, and what an impact he's had since coming on at half-time for Altitude. And if it was an uphill battle for the Whitecaps at 2, it's even more so now. And it's just, you want to see what kind of response you get now if you're Rich Fagan and his backroom staff. They were very much in the first half. Altitude probably shaded it, I would say. But, I mean, the Whitecaps certainly gave a good account of themselves and had their chances, but they have not been able to muster any kind of attacking threat in this second half, and they have been punished very quickly in the opening 11 minutes. A 3-goal burst from Altitude, and Ali Azarmanu gets his first goal of the season. That's to go with one assist that he also has on the year so far. All 3 goals for Altitude coming from set pieces as well. A free kick for the first one, a throw in for the second, and a corner for the third.
Scored by number 14, Thomas Bedisa. Bedisa in the 53rd minute. Altitude's third goal, scored by number 4, Ali Azarmanu in the 56th minute. Azarmanu in the 56th minute.
I'll just let the PA announcement finish because it is so loud here at Thunderbird Stadium. If you went with me during the women's game to hear all my complaints from that, it is way louder than it needs to be in the stadium. As Bedisa tries to stick a leg out of that, but just directs it back to Vancouver. Altitude just smelling blood now and throwing everything forward. Whitecaps have already shipped 6 this year to a rampant TSS side, and Altitude are going to be feeling like they can add a few more to their tally here. And goal difference could come into play come the grand scheme of things. Altitude perhaps now finally hitting the stride that I was expecting from them this year. I spoke at the start of the broadcast that going into this season, I had tipped Altitude to be the team that would be top of the table come the end of July. Their start didn't back that up, but they've still got games to come against TSS. They've got still another game against Kamloops to come. There's a lot of points and a lot of football left to be played, and Altitude in these last 2 games have hit a bit off their stride as that ball. And I paused there because it looked to me that Walters was taken down there by Vancouver. The keeper just couldn't keep hold of it from the header from Walters. He tried to get on it, and I thought Vancouver brought him down there, but referee Mo Maseni not having any of that and just waving it away. As I said, I don't have the benefit of replays up in the booth. I will try and watch that back a little bit in the stream though, because it is on a delay, and we'll see if I can get another view of that incident. As R2 gets his first real touch of the ball in this second half. But this response in the second half by Altitude will certainly please Fally Bass. There was a lack of quality in the final third in the first half. They've more than made up for that in the second. Or two just slowing things down a little bit. The number 96, Noel Poole, has come on as well, incidentally, for the Whitecaps. Liam McGowan and Ethan Stiver, the two players that were making way. A lot happening in the first quarter of an hour of the second half to try and keep up with. Noel Poole, though, 18-year-old, making his third appearance of the season. He did score the winner against Altitude in the first meeting between these two teams. It would take a comeback for the ages if the Whitecaps can get themselves back into this, but they're still trying to play football, they're still trying to compete, but getting left here as Desekera cuts the back to Bushman Dormand at the edge of the box. He turns and gets the low shot off, and a full stretch Isaac Francoeur on the deck deals with that one. Whitecaps pushing now. The ball comes in. Poole is in the mix in the box there, but a big boot from Marshall just clears the danger and sends that up the field and out of the Altitude half. Throw-in quickly taken by the Whitecaps here. Declan Fro, the other player that came on incidentally for the Whitecaps, of German descent. This is his second year in L1BC and his third appearance of the season so far. Just made the one appearance, starting one game for the Whitecaps last year. Sorry, as a sub last year, not starting the game. Whitecaps have struggled to get their danger man, Kyler Vojvodic, involved in the game. The number 73 opening minutes, he had a few forays into the Altitude box, but they've been shut out of the game since then, and the Caps could really do with trying to get him more involved. Playing up front now with Noel Poole, see if they can get something going. Aribordio. Batista storming forward again for altitude. Plays across the top of the box, but there's nobody there in a black jersey. Just a little bit of a misplay from altitude from a very good position. Cap still trying to play football there. Just a little bit of a misunderstanding between Fong and Poole, and Poole's hoping for the overlap and run from Fong that just never came there for the Caps.
Our next home match is 2 weeks from now, Saturday, May the 31st. The Whitecaps MLS Academy hosts Nanaimo United here at 3 p.m. Saturday, May the 31st at 3.
Fong trying to barrel his way through the altitude midfield on his own. The Caps slowly working their way up that right wing. Free kick quickly taken by the Whitecaps. Comes out to Adebayo. Dances to the outside. Showing some nice footwork, but there's nowhere for him to go. Comes back to Rasic, and again he's pressured and forced back. Good play there from Batista. Declan Fro now looking to try and switch it. But it's the Caps just go for the patient option and play black. Clark Tozak now out to Adebayo. And he tries to get through 3 altitude players, gets brought down, I think by Giordano Pinto in the end, who maybe needs to watch being on a yellow card from the early going here. Angela Zhu on free kick duty here for the Caps. 2 men wall for altitude. Can Zhu get the delivery to bring the Whitecaps back into this? To the back post, flicked away by Azar Manu. It's more like it from the Whitecaps. They've regrouped and responded well to that shock and awe first 11 minutes in this second half. Got a message from Orlando Walters, who says he's not biased, of course, but his nephew Nathan, there was that incident in the box that I said I'd like to see again, because it looked on first glance to me that Francoeur had brought down Walters in the 6-yard area, and Orlando says from him watching it, he feels it should have been a penalty, and that would have been a chance maybe for altitude to get a fourth.
Substitution from Vancouver in the 70th minute.
A substitution coming up now for the Whitecaps. Kyler Vojovic making way.
And entering the match, number 55, Sherman Goodzardi.
And coming on for the Whitecaps, number 55, Sharman Mizami Gudarzi. We'll see if the 19-year-old Iranian can add something to the Whitecaps to see them reduce the deficit, try and get themselves back into this one. Whitecaps, the 2023 League 1 BC champions. Had a good showing last year as well. But it's a much younger Whitecaps, as I've been saying throughout the broadcast, and it is tough for them. They're not really able to train together. They're not fully sure who's going to be in the game day squad until the day of the game.
And entering the match, number change, number 34, Sefer Iravani.
And it's the initial announcement was it was number 55, Charmin Mizami Gadazi, that had come on, but it turns out they've switched it up now and it's number 34, Sefer Iravani, that has come in. The 18-year-old Coquitlam man that plays his college football, just had his rookie season with Douglas College. Iravani taking up a role on the left wing. I have him down as a defender, so interesting. And the first men's match today of the 4 that we're getting is over at Swangarden, a big 6-1 win for TSS Rovers over at Nanaimo, a hat-trick for Even Mejia, which I believe moves them into first place in the Golden Boot race. As Altitude make a substitution here.
Leading the match, number 9. Athos
Di Sequeira, the scorer of that fantastic first goal. And Adriano Carvalero Nunes coming on, the number 21 for Altitude. They're just trying to test me with my pronunciations to see how much I can get wrong over the course of the closing minutes here, I think. Herbert. He was really good in the first half. Has been a bit quiet in this second half, but other players have stepped up round about him. If you were with us for the women's game earlier, that finished in a 2-1 victory for Altitude over Vancouver Rise Academy. So Altitude looking for a 6-point day here at Thunderbird Stadium. TSS Rovers women and Nanaimo United drew 2-2, and Kamloops United currently, bit of a surprise this one, beating Burnaby 2-0 in the 67th minute as things stand. 2 first half goals for Kamloops in that one, and Unity and Evolution will get underway at 4:30 Pacific time. That game streamed live on L1BC's YouTube channel as well, as Iravani gets past his man, gets to the byline but runs out of room, and it'll just run behind the Altitude goal and bring up a goal kick here. Altitude feels like they're just kind of going through the motions to see this game out a little bit just now, but when you've got TSS putting up big numbers, Kamloops as well banging the goals in, goal difference could very much come into this come the end of the season. Altitude looking to make it back-to-back wins. It was 3-0 last week for their first win of the season. It's 3-0 as it currently stands. But since that hour mark has kind of ticked by, the Whitecaps have enjoyed the bulk of the possession here, not really been able to carve out any clear-cut goal scoring opportunities though, and that is something that they need to try and remedy in the final quarter of an hour and change here at Thunderbird. David Areboyo is wide open out on the left wing here if the Caps can switch it and get the ball to him. Instead they go up the right. So he tries to turn away, just is brought down there, and that's going to bring out another yellow card. Adriano Carvalero Nunes, not long on the pitch already. A yellow card to his name. And everyone back defending this one for Altitude. If the Caps can pull one back here, it could make for a very interesting ending to this. They've already shocked Altitude once this year. Zoo, it's a good delivery, but it's too much on it in the end. It looked good as it left his foot, but just carried more and more past there and runs over the back. And look at Ortu, will just take his time, run some more seconds off the clock as he looks to send this one up the field. Pishman Dormand rises well to meet it and flick it on, but there's nobody in a black jersey that made the run to try and get on the back of that one. Tip sends that one forward. Now the loose ball picked up by Badisa. He's barreling his way through, just overruns it though. And Francoeur quickly off his line to mop that one up. We're going to get another couple of substitutions coming up for the Whitecaps here as well. Bring you those shortly. It's by process of elimination. It's going to be number 74, Henry Hudspeth, and number 55, Sharman Moazami Gudarzi, who will finally get to come on here.
Fifth substitution for Vancouver.
We'll see who's making way for the Whitecaps.
Leading the match, number 69.
And Aidan Fong, number 69, one of the players making way.
Henry Hudspeth. Sixth substitution for Whitecaps FC. Leading the match, number 41, Carson Razek. And entering the match, number 55, Sharman Goodari.
I think Carson Razek, the number 41, is the other player to make way there. Heard his number, it did not sound like the pronunciation from PA guy that was who had made way, but either way, it's Hudspeth and Mazami Gudarzi that are now on for the Caps for the final 11 minutes of this one, as Altitude battling away with Badisa. Thomas Badisa scored Altitude's first goal of the year against the Whitecaps in that season opener on the score sheet again this afternoon. An assist to his name as well. He's having quite the year. The 20-year-old Whitecaps Academy alumni as well, playing against his former team. If you follow the VMSL, you have seen him playing for Croatia, where he grabbed himself 5 goals this past season. He's going to have to come back and do some defensive work here as the Whitecaps get a corner in the 80th minute. Zoo takes it, gets the return pass, but That was very well read by Altitude. Broke that one up completely and ends up cannoning off Zoo, and it's out for an Altitude goal kick. Zoo and Treasy linking up on the far side. As I think the rain has come on for the first time this afternoon by the looks of things. We've had all sorts of weather over the 2 games today. There's been sun, it's been warm, there's been clouds, and now we've got the rain. Just need a little bit of snow to tick all the boxes. And Bushman Dorman coming back from an offside position there. Caps quick to get on with it. They want to try and get something from this game. If it's not going to be a point, if it's not going to be a win, they at least want to get on the score sheet, and they will battle to the end. For these young players, it's always good to see how they respond to adversity, and this has been one of those games. Even against TSS when they lost 6-1, they battled to the end, and at 5-0 put one in the back of the net. Badisa now. Nice ball out to Tip. Numbers getting forward here for Altitude. It's just behind everyone. Still battling away though. The North Shore side. The Whitecaps break it up. Mizami Gudarzi gets it out now to Iravani. Fro now. He'll switch it out to the right wing to Zoo. He's got the overlapping run coming, plays it inside. That's very well read by Marshall, who breaks that one up. Badisa collects the ball, just not able to bring it forward though, under good pressure from Declan Fro. Tip sends that up the wing, looking to try and get Bushman Dorman, but he's closed down well by both Clark Tozak and Adeborio. We're going to get another Altitude substitution. Making way is Carson Bushman Dormand. The number 7 coming on is number 18, Stefan Colbo, a UBC Thunderbird alumni, so he will know this pitch very, very well.
Third substitution for Altitude FC in the 84th minute.
Graduated from the Thunderbirds last year and has had experience in League One with varsity and not somewhat in the past. And another player that saw a lot of this past winter season in the VMSL with VUFC Hibernian. 8 goals on the season for Stefan Colbo as he won back-to-back Imperial Cups for Hibernian, and a challenge going in there in Azar Manu, and seemed to really catch him painfully in the back as he's down. You hear the cry as he hit the deck, but he's getting helped up by his keeper Luca Ortu. It's a free kick though to the Whitecaps. 27 yards out. Angela Zhu again on set piece duty here. He's overhit the last couple. What will we get from him there? This time it's a little bit under hit. And it's headed out by Caravero Nunez. And Zhu will quickly get on with the throw-in. Troisi just can't bring that down under pressure from Oliver Herbert. And that's just going to be out now for an Altitude throw-in as we move into the last 5 minutes here at Thunderbird Stadium. It was end-to-end pulsating stuff in the first half that lacked quality in front of goal. We certainly got that quality in the first 11 minutes from Altitude in the second half, and then the game's kind of fizzled out a little bit as an attacking encounter. Since then, Altitude came and did what they needed to do, got those 3 goals to the good, and they're just seeing this one out now. And another yellow card shown by Mo Maseni. This one to the goal scorer of that third goal, Ali Azarmanu.
Yellow card caution shown to Altitude FC's number 4.
Altitude trying to get something going there. It's a little touch inside to Badisa. It's just overhit though from Colbo. Badisa forced wide, still keeping hold of it though. Touch inside to Pinto. Tip now out in the run. Tip sends that into the box. It's just a little bit ahead of Colbo. And it's collected by Isaac Francoeur. Walters just playing that back to Altitude. I think just happy to settle for their 3-goal haul. If they can add anything they will, but they don't want to give up what's going to be a 5th straight clean sheet for this Altitude side. Incredible defensive play from them. 10 halves of football without giving a goal up. 5 straight clean sheets for Luca Ortu is on the cards, unless the Caps can find a way through in the last 90 seconds and stoppage time. The way the play is going though, it looks like Altitude could be the team that adds to their tally, as Tip sends a lovely ball and just has way too much power on it and bounces away from Colbo. Herbert trying to pick up the loose ends but can't get on that. Colbo now does pick up the loose ball. The Caps will keep fighting to the end on. It's Declan Fro now bringing it forward for them. One by Altitude. Herbert out wide. He's got Fro holding him up as he waits for some support to come up there. And in the end it just kind of goes out for a throw-in as Angela Zhu is down. He's going to need some treatment there as we in the last 30 seconds here. So we'll keep an eye on the 4th official for how much time to get added on in this one.
In the 90th minute, for substitution, leading the match, number 4, Ali Azarmanu.
Ali Azarmanu making way for Altitude, replaced by Elliot Upton, the number 24. He's going to just see stoppage time here.
5th substitution for Altitude FC. Leaving the match, number 8, Giordano Pinto. And entering the match, number 2, Kobe Monte.
And Kobe Monte coming on for the captain, Giordano Pinto, as we get a minimum of 3 minutes to get added on here for this one. Players coming on, incidentally, for Altitude. Elliot Lupton, 17-year-old midfielder from North Vancouver. He's committed to UVic Vikes for the upcoming college season. So look forward to calling the UBC UVic games this year, see if he features in that. Coming off a fantastic provincial AAA school win for Argyle Pipers on the North Shore. Captained that team to their first provincial title in 36 years, and that was a fantastic achievement by Argyle, and Elliot Lupton played a big part in that. Kobe Monte, the other player that's come on, this is his second year in L1BC. Only made the one appearance last year, but played his debut college season for Langara Falcons in 2024. Not much time for either of those guys to do anything in this one, but hopefully we'll see a bit more of those as the season goes on. Adebayo bringing this one forward for the Caps. Still keeps a hold of it. Thought he'd lost it there, but did well to take that back from Araniki and sends a dangerous ball into the box as well, as Noel Poole battling away for it and wins aside a corner as well. You know that Altitude will be wanting to keep another clean sheet here. As we get another final couple of substitutions here from Falibass's side, just to run the clock down. Ref board is not ready, so the subs may even not come on at this rate, as the corner is going to come in from Angela Zhu. It's a low one to the near post, not the best delivery that we've seen from Zhu, as that is going to run out for a throw-in. We will now get the last couple of substitutions now. Oliver Herbert is making way. The number 17 for Altitude, coming on is Ardi Jalili. Matthew Marshall also making way, and he is replaced by Sebastian Gomez just for the final few seconds of this one.
For Altitude FC in at a time. Leaving the match, number 17, Oliver Herbert, and entering the match, number 5, Ardi Jalili.
And we're past the minimum of 3 minutes that were allocated by the fourth official, and all eyes on Mo Messeni, and he blows the final whistle here. It's another 3-goal second half burst from Altitude. Atos Di Sakera with a 49th minute banger from 25 yards out. Thomas Badisa made it 2-0 in the 52nd minute. And then Ali Azarmenu headed home a Thomas Badisa corner in the 56th minute. Sees the North Shore side get their second win of the season, their second straight 3-0 victory, their fifth straight clean sheet. They now move up to 9 points in the standings with 2 wins, 3 draws and 1 defeat from the 6 games played. For the Caps, it's 1 win, 6 defeats now from their 7. They stay on 3 points. Thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon with us on L1BC. There's a lot more L1BC action on this YouTube channel today. Check it either live or catch it on demand. We'll be back with another Game of the Week soon. Until then, I've been Michael McCall. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you at the pitch again soon.